Hi everyone, my name is John Clese and I'm a board member with Restoration Earth. And at Restoration Earth, our main mission is to really advance the use of native plants in the landscape, whether that be residential or corporate campuses. But we're big enthusiasts of all of the great benefits of native plants, from pollinators to erosion control and using less water. So what we thought we would do today to kick off our series here on YouTube is to visit a garden in Southwest Michigan. And the gardener here has really got a lot of native plants that we thought we'd point out for you because they can be great for your garden too. And we're just going to sort of go around. And the first one here, we've got Joe Pye Weed, which has always been one of my favorites. And Joe Pye Weed, while it primarily is known for liking a moister environment, part sun, I've actually found if it's even in sand, if it's kind of a wettish kind of sand, it'll kind of work as well too. So definitely try it in different places where you might want it. And there's lots of different species of the native Joe Pye Weed. There's a couple here. This one's pretty tall. There's some shorter ones back here in the garden, which are really pretty. And actually right next to it, while we're looking over here, we actually have what's called brown-eyed Susan. But brown-eyed Susans, or I think tribola is the other word that people will use for it. And that actually gets, it gets a little bit taller than your usual black-eyed Susans or your Rudbeckias. And also can get, it's a little bit thinner. I love them because I have a bias towards tall plants, but I think it's one of my favorites for sure. And then working over here, this stuff is spent, but you can see a little bit of a bloom that's left over here from verbena. And then you can see all of these wonderful seeds that are going to spread all over and really help to spread this plant this fall when it gets going. And what else we got over here? We also have some Leaf Hydrangea. And Leaf Hydrangea is native to the southeastern United States, so basically native to North America. I believe, though, that the varieties here with the really big leaf, we're looking at a little bit of a hybrid. We're looking at an Leaf Hydrangea Alice. And the smaller one is probably a Munchkin Hydrangea, but they really are great workhorses in the garden if you have a chance to plant them. And then way over here, I don't know if you can see, but we've also got, oh, here, actually, I'll just come right over here. We've got Ironweed. Ironweed is also another one of these beautiful plants, native plants that like it in a little bit of a moist garden. This is a bit low here, so it does retain a little bit more water, but all of these plants are doing well here. And we also have, while it is a native, lots of people get upset when Canadian Goldenrod moves into your garden. This one has a lot of it. When we spoke with the homeowner, they're like, yep, we know that it can be pretty opportunistic, but they manage to keep it under control. They pull it out when they don't want it and they cut it back. But goldenrods, and there's many goldenrods that you can plant in your garden. Goldenrods are an incredible late season source of food for pollinators. So totally worth putting a goldenrod in your garden. And there's even some goldenrods that like to grow in the shade or part shade. And I think we also have a couple of plants in some trays that have not gotten planted. Oh, I want to plant out one other thing. This is a blue Mistflower, which is really pretty as well. I mean, look at that bloom on that one. Again, this likes a little bit moist, can be a bit opportunistic in terms of spreading, but worth planting. And you know what I think we should point out here, which is kind of interesting. We've got this is your native hibiscus. And then we've got a cultivar over here. Now this one hasn't been planted, but this is a hybrid over here. But I don't know if we'll see if this one's leaves gets as big, but my understanding is I have never grown the pure native one, but it gets every bit as beautiful as some of the blooms that you're seeing on this giant hybrid hibiscus. So if you love that look, yes, and you live in the U.S. and we're in Michigan, you can get hibiscus to grow in Michigan, which is awesome. And I think the last plant we want to show you is Eastern prickly pear. It's kind of exciting to think that we can grow cactus here in Michigan, and you can basically from the Great Plains eastward, and this is Eastern prickly pear. So be very careful when you plant it. And just like all cactus, it's gonna want more sun, well-drained soil, sand. Again, another plant that really spreads, you wouldn't think about it, but I've had a number of people that come up and said, oh, is that what I've seen on the trails over by the sand dunes? And yes, it is. It grows, it gets a beautiful yellow flower and a fruit. Great for pollinators, but it's a wonderful plant to grow. And it's really a great plant too for that strip between the sidewalk and the road, which we call the hell strip. And it's a wonderful plant to plant, especially it's just fun to know that we can grow cactus. And then what does it look like in the winter? It's actually there's a lot of water in there, so they just kind of like shrivel up a bit and crinkle up, and then they sort of puff out again when the spring comes. But overall, there is a mix of some other plants in here as well, but really pretty to see someone that's taking native plants into the garden and done a wonderful job with them for sure. And of course they spread, so while you may put them in the place that you want, native plants are always going to move around and find out the optimal place that they actually want to live. So if you'd like to learn more about Restoration Earth and our work and donate as well, you can go to our website at restoration-earth.org, and you'll find out more information about native plants, and we'll hope you support us as we work to change the way that America plants.